Alright guys, so here's an way overdue update on my garden. So as you can see, the bean plant is still pretty massive. I hope the lighting is okay because the sun is out, but I've been picking beans like crazy. As you can see on here, and we have a little friend here who has literally been on this plant since the beginning. Hopefully the air conditioning is not too loud. But anyways, so I love beans. You can just go and pick and eat them. But yeah, so we're moving on. So I'm not sure when to pick these. I need to look these up. But these are the baby leeks. They've gotten crazy. Here are the leeks that I had planted that I had gotten from the store. So this one's obviously doing really well because it's huge. Here's my lettuce. I've cut this quite a few times and I'm just waiting for it to grow back up and I'll cut more. Same with this lettuce, still doing well. This came in a lot sooner than this one did, but they're both doing really well up here in this setup. Alright, so here's my calendula. It does really well and then it dies and it comes back, so I'm not really sure what's going on. Here's some lemon balm that I had actually taken a cutting from someone's garden. I've already cut the oregano down several times. I think I'm gonna have to come in there and cut it again. And let's see, let's move on. My spearmint is coming to the last of itself, I think, so they keep flowering, so I just kind of plop the flowers like this. I just take them off and I throw them back into the pot at hopes that some more will grow, but who knows. But I think I'm going to go through and trim all those off and start drying them. My peppermint has gone a little crazy, which is nice, but you can see where it's sprouted up where I've cut it off and pushed out through the sides. I think like I had explained in a video, but see, this one's like flowering too. So just like the other one, I throw it back into the pot. Hopefully it will grow more. Here's my basil. It's gotten so much taller. It's nice to have. Remember, this is the one that I bought from the store because mine just was not growing. Here's the kohlrabi. They've gotten taller. Nothing really going on with it yet though. And back up here, here's more lemon balm. I don't know why it turns purple, so if anybody can tell me that. Here's the cinnamon basil actually, and it tastes actually pretty good. I've used it a couple times because, I mean, it's not that tall. Here's the thyme that if you had seen my previous video of me cutting and harvesting and stuff, but I need to cut that again because it's getting a little crazy there. Alright, so moving on to one of my garden boxes. This is the echinacea. So not too much over here, like very little, and then over here I have quite a bit. So I don't know, it's the first time I've grown it, so we're just winging it. Chamomile never actually came in, so maybe it was the wrong time of year. Hibiscus, some of them are still there, others have kind of died. The sage, I'll have to show you guys this plant here. But the sage is coming in, but it's not growing very big. This right here is actually Thai basil. So I think I'm gonna move a lot of this inside for the winter because it tastes really good in the Vietnamese soup called pho. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. I've heard it pronounced multiple ways. Yeah, and then we'll move on to the other garden box. So my African marigolds have all died. I kept the seeds which I don't know if I showed you in the last video. So the spinach completely died, never came back, so I don't know. The kale, however, I had planted some and it all died, and then it just like magically reappeared. So I don't know what's going on with that, but I'm pretty excited about it. The arugula, there's one little guy there. Everything else died, so I don't know really what that's gonna do. The lupine, I think I had showed you, I had to pull that all out because it wasn't doing anything. My coleus, which is not part of this food garden stuff, but it's actually doing really well, and it's gotten a lot bigger. And yeah, it started flowering, so I picked them off, and then you can see how it starts to shoot out, just like the other plants do. It shoots out of here. So I think so we picked this flower off, and then we'll see what it does. Here's rosemary. My rosemary is so tiny. These are the ones that I had planted, but these ones I had grabbed cuttings from a neighbor, and so they haven't died, but they just, I think they've gotten a tad bit bigger, but they still smell so good. So I'm still waiting. I'm gonna bring this inside for the winter to see if I can nurse it along. Here's my okra, and if you check here, as of recently, I have a little flower on here, which you can kind of, there you go, you can see there. So those should be popping out here soon. Here's some wild catnip I found growing in the yard. So it's starting to flower. So I think if I pick those off right here, and then I can put those into something for the cats that the family has that I live with. Carrots, just waiting to see what they do. More so interested in the tops because I don't know that carrots are going to grow in that, but they seem to be doing pretty well. Here's my cucumbers. So I've already picked one, very tiny one, but if you look at these little guys. There's one gonna grow there, and there's a bunch of flowers and stuff, but this will be our second official cucumber. And let's see, here's another one right here, and I think these are supposed to be small cucumbers, English ones I believe, but yeah, so nothing really else yet, but I'm okay with 2 of them because that means a total of 3. So going down, the citronella is still alive, so I mean it's lost quite a bit of leaves, but they still keep coming back, and still smells like citronella, so that's good. And then this is the tomato plant that I had gotten from my friend. So we've got these tomatoes growing. Here's some flowers. Can't get it to focus, but here's more flowers. And I don't see any other flowers except for those, but the fact that we have tomatoes here is very exciting. Alright, so here is the lavender. Still smells beautifully. And it's just actually doing really well. Alright, so this is not part of my vegetable garden, obviously, but this is on the other side of the porch. But look how big this is. Isn't that crazy? So if you zoom in, or get a little closer, this right here is a Mexican sunflower. I think there's I think there's more than one name. That's the name that I had got from my app that I have called iNaturalist, because this was just in a whole slew of like wildflowers. So this plant, I've picked off numerous flowers for people, and if I can, like, I mean, they just look pretty from all angles. So it's pretty awesome. But I mean, they're so brightly colored. So I think what I've done is take a couple of these off so that way I can plant them next year. But I mean, this whole entire plant, I don't know, let's see if I can see how big this is. It's huge. So then over here, this one never really, like, they were just super tiny and yellow. Oh, one thing I will say is that the hummingbirds love these flowers. I've seen multiples and butterflies too, which was the main point of us planting all of these, was to get the butterflies over here. So if we're moving down, these ones were the first to bloom, but on the other side, which I'll show you those, but here we have some Shasta daisies. It's getting a little grody looking, but I mean, they're all just so pretty. And I love how right here, they're like little stars almost. Anyways, we will keep moving on. Okay. So if you see this, that's, I think that's like two vines maybe. Has all of this all tangled up in here. These are supposed to be my morning glories, so I don't know when they're going to start flowering. Hopefully they will this season. But this was the vine that I moved on the other side. I did not expect them to get this big, but if you wait a second, look over here. Sorry for the sound of the air conditioning, but look at what this is. Isn't this crazy? I was hoping that it would take over the deck because it like adds so much privacy there, but wow, I did not expect it to get this big. But here's some of my beautiful marigolds that actually bloomed this year. And come up here, here's more of the Shasta daisies that I showed you over there. These ones have just gotten like really big and beautiful. Same with this, and this right here coming out of here is the morning glory plant. It's just like, it's taking over everything, but I'm so excited for these. But do you see all of this in here? I think they're supposed to be white marigolds, because I know there's like all sorts, not marigolds, morning glories. I know there's like several different colors that I've seen. I believe these ones are the white ones, but who actually knows? Not really sure. But I have so many other of the daisies going to bloom. It's crazy. But every time I come out here, there's like little arms that stick out wanting to grab onto things. So I've had to come out here and like wrap them around things, and they just have a mind of their own, but it's just so fascinating. And like these, this one right here. So I'm hoping I can get it all the way to the end there, but I don't want to stretch my luck, but I think it might happen. And then that would be really cool if they all bloom. There's also somebody cutting down a tree, so hopefully you can still hear me. But if I can, I'll insert some pictures here that I've gotten from all of the flowers. If you want just a side view of what this looks like. There you go. Crazy.